Hello and welcome to Learning from Leaders, TurnKey Lender's weekly thought leadership show for everything innovation in the community. We are so excited to have Olga Adler of the Austin Businesswoman joining us today. Olga, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Liz. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you. We are so excited to talk with you, and I think to begin, if you can explain to us a little bit about the Austin Businesswoman and how you got started and a little bit of your journey.
Okay, so where do I start? Austin Businesswoman was created in the midst of the pandemic. And I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, basically since my college years. I always knew that I didn't want to work for someone. So right after college, I started my translation agency in my country of origin. And then when I moved to America, I worked for a retail startup, which unfortunately basically opened right before the pandemic. And it didn't survive the pandemic. Also because the business model wasn't very flexible in the digital world. It put a lot of emphasis on having a brick and mortar showroom with like physical experience of customers coming in, one deal at one handshake kind of business. Mm-hmm. And of course, it wasn't really sustainable in the crisis. So unfortunately, it didn't survive. But it just created. I just got this idea that I saw two businesses grow from scratch, and it was always going through the motions of having to put the word out there, tell more people about you, tell more people about your product, raise brand awareness, and it's very hard. And for small entrepreneurs like myself, you just see this ceiling where you can't compete with huge companies that have five-figure, six-figure budgets and entire teams working on that. You have to be jack of all trades. You have to do your own marketing while creating your own product. Pick up the phone when your customers call you. And so you just don't have the peace of mind and sometimes the skill to do it all yourself. So I was thinking that during the pandemic, when everyone was already pretty depressed and so many people lost their jobs and so many startups were failing, so many businesses weren't surviving, I thought that it was really time to create something for women who are local to Austin, who are already a minority because there are more male-owned businesses. So we kind of have to find our own niche, find our own space to promote our products. And so I started Austin Businesswoman, which is a business directory. It's open. There are not very many open business directories for women-owned businesses where you can just go and find a woman in any industry who has her own business in Austin, which helps business owners because they don't have to have any knowledge of marketing, of SEO, of branding. They can just create their own page, and it works as their landing page. It's already search engine friendly. It's user friendly. You basically just fill in the form. It's very self-explanatory, and it stays there forever. You write all the information about your business, and it helps people find you. And it picked up really well, and I found a lot of interest in it, and I met a lot of inspiring women in Austin, and I hope that we'll do better and we'll do more.
Well, thank you for sharing that with our audience. I think it's very inspiring that you started a business, in 2020 during COVID, and I think it's so important to promote women-owned businesses. I've had a 20-year career in technology in Silicon Valley and all over, and I still see that, the playing field is not level, and so I'm really excited with what you're doing. And I think if you could kind of speak a little bit about the state of female-led businesses in Austin and how do women-owned businesses change the status quo and any stats around this.
So I think, and a lot of people support me in this, that Austin is a great place to be a female business owner. As you mentioned, there are stats about it. Austin ranks number 2 in terms of number of woman-owned startups in the country.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know. Around 30 1/3 of startups are owned by women in Austin, and it's very cool and it's very impressive. Also, Austin and the whole of Texas is very beneficial for businesses because we don't have state income tax, and also Austin, compared to, say, Dallas or Houston, is a much younger city. So a lot of money is generated here by younger people who tend to be more progressive, more inclusive, more diverse, and more in pace with their reality. While older cities like Dallas and Houston, they still have a lot of economy controlled by older businesses with a more traditional business model where women just didn't have a lot of a say. So Austin offers a lot of opportunity. And recently, my personal experience, I also discovered that it's a very family-friendly place. And I would say it's the capital of mompreneurs. Some people hate this word, but it offers a lot of opportunities for mothers who are business owners at the same time. So for many women who are building their own business or just starting their career, it's a good place to start. And speaking about the number of startups, one might say, well, it's so high ranking, but you still have only 30% of startups. And why the majority male? Well, there are other pieces of statistics that show that only 15% of venture capital goes to female founders. So even having this little venture capital to work with, female startup founders, they still perform better. And research shows that companies that have CEOs who are women and CFOs who are women, they on average outperform men. So it's something that we need to be aware of and something we need to promote. We need to step up and show the statistics, show the facts, and say, look, we can do much better. Just give us an opportunity. And I think Austin is great for that.
Yes, well, that is very encouraging to hear. And here at TurnKey Lender, we do have a co-founder who is a strong female woman. So that is a good thing here. And so thank you for the stats and explaining a little bit about that to our audience. I think for our next question, if you could give us a little insight into positioning your business in this increasingly digital and competitive economy, especially you started your business during COVID when a lot of businesses failed. I think that might be helpful for our audience.
Well, digital, I should say that without technology, my business wouldn't be here. And I'm sure a lot of businesses wouldn't be here. And after COVID especially, we've seen that remote opportunities and automation is so liberating and equalizing for a lot of businesses. For example, before, to make a good impression as a business owner, as a company, you had to have an office, you had to have physical space. Now, after a year of pandemic, of everyone working from home, regardless of whether your startup is in a high-rise downtown or in your garage, you basically make the first impression is always the same because we all work from home. So it puts a lot of smaller businesses in the position of being equal to bigger companies, being able to be heard, being able to spread the word, being able to use all the resources, online resources out there to promote their business and to sell their products not only in their own city, in their own community, but also outside. So I think it's just really good that the pandemic taught us this lesson of you can do your business online and still succeed.
Yes, I definitely agree. I love the trend. I think that I know myself, I'm more productive working remotely, and we have a globally based team, so I think it's fabulous.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so thank you. I think, so anything else that you can speak on for launching and growing a business in our current COVID and then post-COVID economy? Any other insights that you would like to share with our audience?
Yeah, I would say that one thing we learned from the pandemic is that we got a lot of resilience as a business community because we couldn't take anything for granted because everything around the economy, the world, everything was crumbling. And then Texas also had the freeze that came out of nowhere, basically just created this apocalypse. And then with all the political permutations, we realized that there are no pillars of stability in the world, but you can still build your business. And when everyone was shocked, everyone was trying to find their footing in this changing reality. It was small businesses, small and medium businesses who brought this island of stability, because they were faster than big institutions and sometimes even the government to adapt to the new reality. So they were businesses who were created to fit the needs, the emerging needs in the community. For example, you could get food or essential items delivered to your home, or you had a lot of businesses who stepped up to help the community, or you had a lot of businesses who created flexible environment for their employees to work from home and flexible childcare to take care of your family. And they showed us that there is a lot that can be done if you are resilient and adaptable. And that's something that we should keep even now after the quarantine is over.
I agree. Resiliency and adaptability to change are what you need to succeed in business and life. So thank you for that. And I think just a few more questions here for our audience. Is there any other market opportunities for 2021 and beyond that you think business owners need to act upon as you work with all of these local businesses and see a lot of different kind of trends in the industry in Austin in general?
That's a very good question, actually. I was thinking about it quite recently, and I thought that there are two very distinct trends. One trend is to go global, go virtual, go online, because the pandemic showed us the rise of things like telemedicine, remote education, virtual experiences like having a virtual tour of Louvre or Vatican, which is really amazing. And a lot of businesses are trying to build more of that, just bringing the experiences of the world to your doorstep. While another trend is quite the opposite trend, because after a year of ordering everything from Amazon or big box stores or groceries from the supermarket or having like yoga on Zoom, people are craving physical interaction. They just want those experiences back. People don't want to be learning to dance salsa in front of their computer. They want to have an actual dance floor. They want to have the teacher. Or they want to go to an actual restaurant and eat something that's not mass-produced, or buy some clothes or items that are not from Amazon and come from some corporations out there. So there is a lot of interest and demand now, which helps my work a lot, because this is my target audience. Local businesses who produce authentic and community-oriented products. So I see both directions, going global and going virtual, and going local and authentic.
I love it. I think that both are very, very important. I know personally I'm very excited to get back to yoga in person and not isolate myself any longer. And so just I think two more questions for our audience. The first one is, what advice would you give to someone either starting out in their career or looking to make a career change as you launched your business, during COVID? What advice would you give to women or men out there?
I think it's, if someone is thinking about changing a career or starting something new, it's a clear indicator that it's time. But when you're thinking of starting your new business or trying a new career path, you should think of it in terms of the why and not the what. You shouldn't think about what should I do. You should think about why would it be needed? Why would my value proposition be interesting to my target audience? Who those people are, and what's the reason I'm bringing something new to the market, or is it new at all? And I would also advise to be cautious, not to put all eggs in one basket. One shouldn't be afraid of failure, because unfortunately the statistic shows that most startups fail. So it's not, we shouldn't we should be realistic about it, should have realistic expectations. So it's always good to have a plan B. I mean, go for it, but have a plan B.
Well, I think that's excellent advice for our audience. Thank you. And I think our final question is if you can tell our audience a little bit about your upcoming gala for the Austin Businesswoman, and also how people can join your directory, and anything else that you would like to share.
Oh, thank you for asking it. I've been waiting for an in-person event forever, and I'm so happy that now people are getting vaccinated, and now we can go bring back events. It's going to be in an outdoor venue on May 25th, and you can find information about it on our website, austinbusinesswoman.com. It's an event dedicated to celebrating women-owned businesses. It's actually an award ceremony because we are running nominations now, and people are voting for different categories of this award that include Woman-Owned Business of the Year, Businesswoman of the Year, Nonprofit of the Year, Employer of the Year, and several other categories. And there's been just so much response. So many people voted for their candidates. So many people showed support, and I just think that we deserve it as a community. Our female founders, our creators, artists, entrepreneurs just deserve to be appreciated. And so this event is something to just give back to them for the amazing job they did this year. Oh, and the directory. So on our website, austinbusinesswoman.com, you can join our directory and create your page. And I promise it's user-friendly, and I promise it's affordable. You can create a free plan, or depending on your needs, you can create a premium account, and it will be much cheaper than any marketing, promotional, or advertising opportunity out there.
Well, thank you for sharing that with our audience, and thank you for the guests for the comments, and for all of this lovely insight about you creating your business during this challenging time in our history, and what you're hoping to bring to women and business owners in Austin. And you can see in our comments here if you would like to attend the gala on May the 23rd. You can sign up here, and we look forward to seeing you in person. And thank you for all you're doing to promote women in Austin and make it a level playing field. It's very inspiring.